Good afternoon, everybody. Happy Thursday. Welcome to this week's Lunchtime Live. Hope you're all having a good day. My name's Sarah, co-founder here at the Online Digital Academy, and this is our weekly Lunchtime Live learning. So today we are going to be exploring and having a look at three tools, three analytics tools, or three places you can go to get some more insights about your audience. So why is this so helpful? Why might you want to do this? Well, if you're in charge of putting maybe a social media strategy together, maybe even a marketing strategy or channel strategy, a part of that strategy is always or should always be obviously on your audience, your target audience who you're looking to target, and audience personas will be a part of that as well. So we can use data online to help us build out those audience personas and to help us understand our audience better. So that's if you're creating a strategy, these tools can be really useful. But also, if you're just a social media manager or you're a business owner and you're looking to understand your audience better online, because you want to know who's following you on Facebook, whether it's females, males, how old they are, and what they're interested in. You want to know who's buying stuff on your website. Again, age, gender, interests, all of these things we can actually find out using some free tools from these platforms, which is really great. So as I said, we're just going to touch on three tools today, and all of these are free. There's limitations to all of them. They are just free, but it's still really interesting to have a look at these, and they can still give you a lot of information, especially if you've never looked at them before. So if you're watching today, say hello, say hi. If you've got any questions, as always, comment as we go. And if you are watching this on catch up, then please do ask your questions and comment on the video. So out of the three tools that we're going to be looking at today, we're going to start off with Facebook Audience Insights. So this is one of my favorite free analytics tools that gives us loads of information about our audience. So again, if you're working on a Facebook strategy or a social media strategy, or you're actually planning Facebook advertising campaigns, this tool is going to be really useful for you. So Facebook Audience Insights, you can just Google it. You can access it from your ads manager if you're in Facebook Ads Manager or Business Manager, or you could just Google it. It's really easy to get to it that way. And you can click here and you can click on it and access it directly from Google as well. And that takes you through here to this tool. So we can do lots of different things with this tool. Let me just make that screen a bit bigger, actually. It might be quite hard to see. There we go. So you can do lots of different things with this tool. There's lots of information in here. But what's particularly useful is that you can plug your Facebook page into here and you can analyze your followers. So if you want to know more information about who currently follows you on Facebook, you can use this tool to do that. Now, the limitation is you have to have over 1,000 Facebook followers to plug your page into here. But you can add your Facebook page here, and then the first tab is going to tell you the top age ranges of people who follow your page, and also the top genders as well. So we can see with this page, we've got most of the followers. We can see here 97% of followers are women and 3% are male. And then of those 97% of women, 37% of them are aged 35 to 44. So that's the top age range of followers for this page. So straight away we can go, okay, well, clearly on Facebook, females are our main target audience. And the age range we're talking to is 35 to 44, but actually, 31% of 45 to 54, so that's quite a big age range too. So we could say really we're looking at 35 to 54-year-olds. You can even expand that and say 25 to 54-year-olds. So it gives you insight of just who is following you on Facebook, whether it be male or females, and what their age range are. Now, as we scroll down, we can see that compared to the average Facebook audience, most or 69% of our audience have actually been to university, so that's their education level, and 61% are married. So you can see the light grey in the background is everybody on Facebook, and the dark blue here is your audience. So you can see that people who follow our Facebook page, actually more of them are married than the average Facebook user. So that can be useful. So if we think about, okay, well, if we did want to, if we're running Facebook ad campaigns, and we're going to just try targeting females that are married and educated, and that could help define our audience a little bit more than just targeting all females in the UK. Instead, we're going to target females that are married and they've been to university, because that's the most popular demographic there. So that can be really useful if you've got no idea of who your audience are on Facebook. You've got some job title information here, which is a little bit broad, to be honest. Not wholly useful, maybe unless you're in the B2B sector, you might find that more useful. So if you've got a B2B business page, but again, still quite broad, but it can be interesting just to see if there's any trends there. As I said, the majority of people don't put their job title on Facebook, so that's why that's not wholly useful. And then the next tab over here, page likes, is a really useful tab. So if we move over, so here we can now see the top brands that follow our Facebook page. So this is really interesting. So people who follow our Facebook page are interested or also follow these brands within each of these categories. So this can be really, really insightful, and you can use this information for so many different reasons. So for example, people following the page that I've plugged here, they also like Skinny Bakery, and they also like Dobby's, the brand, Poppable, Baker Ross, Hobbycraft, Party Delights, The Book People. You can see you've got all the different categories listed down here, and then you've got the actual Facebook pages within each category that your Facebook page audience like. So chocolate shop, Hotel Chocolat, for example. Food and drink, they like Whittard of Chelsea, the tea brand. Naked Marshmallow in shopping and retail, Holland and Barrett. So we can see that, okay, well, people who like our Facebook page are also interested and also like these other brands as well. Now, these are in no particular order, they're just segmented by categories. But if we scroll all the way down, then we can see that they've been listed in order here of page affinity. So we can now see the number one page, the most popular page liked by our page followers, is the Naked Marshmallow Company. I really want to buy these marshmallows. I checked these out today. They're natural marshmallows full of goodness, apparently, no artificial colours or flavouring or sugar, although they're not taking orders at the moment on their website because they are swamped for Christmas, but I will definitely be checking them out again in future. But here what this is telling us, that 1.9 thousand people who like our Facebook page that I've plugged in also like the Naked Marshmallow Company. So that's quite a high, that's nearly 2,000 people. So nearly 2,000 of our followers also like the Naked Marshmallow Company. So you can see there, well, that's interesting, that's quite a big link. And then here you can just see the Naked Marshmallows Company total number of followers. So Naked Marshmallow have 60.4 thousand followers on their Facebook page, and 1.9 thousand of our followers like the Naked Marshmallow Company. So we see that's got a really high affinity, our audience, with the audience of that Facebook page too. So what can we do with this information? Well, we can do lots of things. First of all, I mean, it's great just for collaborating with these brands. You know, so if you're a social media manager, or you're looking to do partnership marketing, you're looking to run competitions or giveaways, and you see this information, and actually you see that the Naked Marshmallow Company have got 60,000 followers, and that a high proportion of your followers already like these guys, then that's potentially another, 58,000 followers that would be really into your brand. So you could reach out to the Naked Marshmallow Company and say, hey, do you want to do a giveaway or a collaboration and run a competition so you can get your brand in front of their audience? So that would be one thing you could do, and that's from an organic social perspective and a competition and giveaway perspective. But you could also see if you could target this as an interest with your Facebook advertising as well. So that could be an option. Now, you can't directly target brands with Facebook advertising. Only if they've been registered as an interest by Facebook can you do that. So it's a little bit trial and error. It's not guaranteed. But you could go into Facebook Ads Manager and you could see if that has been registered as an interest. And brands that are very large will often get registered as an interest. You know, people are interested in Coca-Cola as an interest as well as it being an actual Facebook page. So if these companies get enough engagement around them, they can be registered as an interest, and then you can target them with your Facebook ads. So we can go through here and we can try typing all of these in, and we can target people who are interested in these brands with our Facebook advertising, because we know that, you know, people who like these brands are also gonna potentially almost definitely like our brand as well. So loads and loads of information here. And what else can you do with this? You can also add these brands to your audience personas. So I guess that's from a very practical point of view, you know, running social competitions, running Facebook ad campaigns, but even, you know, going back to a strategic point of view, if you're working on a strategy, you're dealing with audience personas, then this gives you really good insight and helps you create a visual representation of your target audience. Because, you know, okay, well, they like We're Tired of Chelsea, they like Naked Marshmallow Company, and potentially affluent brands, you know, I Love Gin, maybe crafty brands. So you can get some insight into what type of audience your audience are, HelloFresh, Lakeland, and it really helps you build up this picture of who your audience on Facebook are. And then we saw, if you remember in the demographics section, they're more likely to be married. So here we can see, you know, Mumsnet, Jojo, Mam and Bebe. And I know the audience for this Facebook page, one of their main target audiences is mums as well. So here we can see that coming out within these mumsy brands as well. So lots and lots of interesting data here that we can get around our Facebook audience and our Facebook followers. We can then move over to location. This just gives you the top cities that your Facebook page followers live in. And then you've got a bit more information under activity here. This is mainly, I mean, it can be interesting just to look at down here. This is how your page followers access Facebook. So here we can see that actually above average of your this Facebook page followers access Facebook via desktop and mobile. And slightly below average to everybody else on Facebook, which is the light grey, access it via mobile only. So this page audience also use desktop more than the average Facebook user, that's basically telling us. But they still use mobile more. So it's just can be insightful, you know, into what kind of devices our audience are using. And that kind of ties back in with, if we look at the age range of our audience is slightly older, then maybe they'd be using desktop as well as mobile to access these devices. Okay, so that's Facebook audience insights. We can see up here the total audience size of people that we're looking at. So in this case, we're looking at 12.7 thousand people who like this Facebook page. It's actually a bit more than that, but you can, let me just go down to 18. So we're now up to 13,000 people. So you can adjust the age and gender here on the right-hand side too, if you want to segment your followers even more. So that's the first tool. Now moving on now to, hi Michelle. Moving on now to the second tool from Facebook Audience Insights is Creator Studio. Now we can use Creator Studio to help us analyse our Instagram followers. So Facebook Audience Insights is obviously our Facebook page, and we can look at our Instagram followers as well. Now we can just do this on the Instagram app, but obviously it's hard for me to show you the app here. So you can look at it via desktop through Creator Studio now, which is really useful. You could never do that before. So if we go to Creator Studio on desktop and we select Instagram and we click on Insights and then Audience, this will help us analyze our Instagram followers. So here we can see this page has got 10.5 thousand followers. It's had a growth of 270 followers in the last 7 days, which is good. It's Christmas, so obviously a popular time of year. We can see that 4.2% of the followers are men versus 95.8% of the Instagram followers are women. So that aligns with Facebook. You can see here clearly the target audience for this business is females. And we can see this is broken up by age range as well. So this aligns also with what we saw on Facebook. We're looking at 35 to 44 is the most popular age range. With males, it's a bit younger, interestingly, 25 to 34. But again, if we look at the 3 most popular, we're going from 25 to 54. So, you know, we can take that into consideration when we're posting, but that's also quite useful actually for our advertising too. If we want to be targeting people who are most likely going to buy from us, then we could just target people who are 25 to 54, for example. If we needed to make our audience sizes smaller, that is. We wouldn't just want to do that for no reason, but if we wanted to reduce our audience sizes in our ad sets, then we could use different ages to make those sizes smaller. And then moving down, this can be interesting. So this is when your followers are on Instagram. So here we can see just days. I mean, it's pretty even, to be honest. People are on Instagram, if they go on it, they're on there every day, but we can click down between day and hour. So what's this good for? Obviously, this can help guide you when to post on Instagram because, you know, from an organic perspective, if you want to get the most reach possible on the platform, then you want to post when people are online because the Instagram algorithm responds to how quickly people engage with your post. So if you post a picture and you get lots of engagement, lots of likes straight away, then that instantly sends signals to Instagram's algorithm and starts showing that post to more people. Now, Instagram's algorithm is still on speed of engagement, which is slightly different to Facebook's. Interestingly, Facebook focus more on quality engagement and comments, but Instagram do still focus on speed. So that's why it's really important to get people liking your pictures straight away. So we definitely want to be posting when people are online. So here we can see, I mean, between in the evening, 6 p.m. and 9 p.m., 10 p.m. And again, I know just from experience with this page that, yeah, posting at 8 and 9 p.m. works really, really well and always gets the most engagement straight away. So that just backs that up, that the evening is a good time to post. Also makes sense if we're targeting females who are mums, they've put the kids to bed, they're on the sofa at 9 p.m. and they're probably on Instagram. So that aligns with that visual idea of the customer as well. And then again, we've got countries and towns and cities too, which can be useful. Especially this company, for example, are branching out into Europe now. They're selling in Europe. So it's interesting to see, okay, well, our Irish followers are increasing. You've got US there, France and Spain. So, and again, that totally aligns with, you know, where most of the European customers are coming from at the moment. So that's really interesting. So Ireland is a country to be targeting and France and Spain. Not so much the US actually, but clearly they are coming across the page as well and finding it. But those other 3 countries are the top European countries. So that's interesting to see how they are finding this company organically and following them. So this is, sorry to your question, is there still merit in liking those Facebook pages and sharing their content onto your page? Interesting. What from a Facebook point of view, I guess this is back to here. So yes, for example, we could go to the Naked Marshmallow company and share their content onto our page. you could definitely do that. In my personal experience, it doesn't always get great organic reach when you do that, when you share other pages' content onto your page, but I'd love to hear from other people. It works better in my experience if, for example, somebody posted on your Facebook page. So if they posted on our Facebook page and then we reshared that to our page, but only after they posted already on our page, rather than just going to their page and sharing a post across. I don't know why, but it's just something that never really gets masses of organic reach. I would prefer to save their image if that was possible and they were happy with that, upload it directly to the page and then tag them in it personally. But yeah, that's just in my experience. Okay, fab. So that's our second tool. That is our Instagram Audience Insights. And then thirdly is Google Analytics, which is the final tool we're going to look at today. So this is a little bit more detailed. This is less social media focused, but still really important from a business perspective, from a marketing perspective, and even, you can be using this data within your social media strategy as well. So here we're just in Google Analytics demo account. So this is a free account from Google Analytics that you can access and play around with. So this isn't real data, but really useful just for us to look at this. So this is obviously all the data that's linked to or would be linked to our website as a business. So everybody who lands on your website and buys something from your website, then you can get, Google Analytics will collect all of that data. Now, Google Analytics here on the left-hand side has an audience section. So we can get audience insights from Google Analytics as well. So we've got the overview here. Now this just gives us a quick overview of lots of different things like the language of your top website visitors. So we can see here different languages broken down, and you can see the number of website users for each language. And then we can work our way through and click on country. So for this website, this is just, as I said, a demo account by Google. It's the US is the most used, then India, Canada. City, so we can break down. So you can see, what language your website users are speaking, what countries they're coming from, what cities they're coming from, what browsers they're using, whether it be Chrome or Safari, Firefox. Obviously, Safari is Mac and Apple. So that's an indication of what devices they have as well. They use, you've got operating system, service provider. Now, some of this can be useful more from a technical point of view because you can drill down in to see how people respond on these different devices and browsers. So, sometimes you might find like your website takes longer to load on Chrome, for example. There might be an issue there. So it can be useful from a slightly more technical point of view. So that's the overview, but a bit more interesting if we drop down to audiences and then click on demographics and overview. So this will again tell us demographic information, but instead not about our Facebook followers, which we can get from Facebook Audience Insights, not about our Instagram followers, but about our website users. So how old are people who land on our website? And is it more males or females that land on our website? And more importantly, that's all of our users, but we can actually segment this data. So we can look at, I don't know if you see segments active, I think this one is. We can look at people who have purchased on our website. So we can see the age of people who've purchased and the gender of people who have purchased on our site. So you can add segments on top of the reports that you're looking at to get some more detailed information. If it ever loads. So Google Analytics can be quite overwhelming to look at, especially if it's not your own data. But when you look at your own website analytics, it all makes so much more sense because you're like, oh yeah, that's my customers, that's my website. Here we go. So now we've laid on people who've made a purchase, so that's the orange, and we can see that people who've purchased, actually 25 to 34 is the top age range, and the second to top is 55 to 64. And it looks like in this case, it's only these age ranges that have purchased. So nobody from the other age ranges has actually ended up purchasing, even though they've landed on the website, which could be interesting for you to know if that's your business. Because again, you can feed that back into, okay, who are we talking to? Who's our target audience? What age range are we talking to? Are we creating the right content? Is our message resonating with them? The only limitation of all of this, of course, is that you need an audience in the first place to be analysing. You need the data there to analyse in the first place. So if you're a brand new business, then that's definitely a limitation of all of these tools. You may not yet have the data that you can analyse. So that's the demographics. Then we can move down to interests and we can look at overview. And this will tell us top line interests of what our website visitors are interested in. And it's pretty broad and top line. It's broken down into affinity categories and in-market segments. And now you may not know, but these are targeting options within your Google advertising. So that's why Google breaks them down into these areas. So even though you might look at this and think this is really useless information because it's so broad, if you're actually doing Google advertising, this is where it becomes much more useful. So in this case, we're seeing at the top affinity category of our website visitors is shoppers and value shoppers, same with people who've purchased. Now we've got media and entertainment, movie lovers, people interested in technology, technophiles. So you can see this is all pretty broad, travel, business travelers, but as I said, you can target all of these things with your Google ads. So if you're doing YouTube advertising, Google display advertising, then you can directly feed this into your Google ad campaigns and target these affinity categories. So that's when it becomes useful. And then same with in-market segments too. With your Google ads, you can target people who are in market for certain products and services. So again, that might then make more sense. You go, okay, well, if we're doing YouTube advertising, let's pick the top few and target our ads at these guys because there seems to be some sort of connection there. Another limitation to be aware of with this data is that unlike Facebook and Instagram, we are only looking at a percentage of our website users here. Now with Facebook and Instagram, what's great about their data is you have to be logged in to use Facebook and you have to be logged in to use Instagram. So they can identify people straight away as soon as they log in. You don't have to be logged into Google to go on somebody's website. So Google can only use data from people who are logged into Google Chrome, or maybe they've got a Google Android phone and they're logged in. So you can see that this is actually only 50% of your total website users that Google can identify. So the little percentage they say here, so it's not all of your website users. That is something else to consider and just be aware of. So we can move down to geo, so that's just language and location, fairly straightforward. We saw that in the overview. You've got behavior here. It tells you how many of your website visitors are new versus returning, which can be interesting. And it also tells you how many of your new website visitors purchase versus your returning website visitors that purchase. It's been really slow, sorry. I think it's because I've got this segment on. I'll get rid of it in a minute. You've also got engagement and session quality. This is great session quality, actually. So in a minute, we'll look at this. And this actually, let me get rid of this segment because it's slowing us down. This tells you how many of your website visitors are quality website visitors, which is really interesting. So first of all, new versus returning. So here we can see, okay, these people are brand new visitors to our website, and we can see, how many transactions they have done and also the amount of revenue they spent on your website. This is your returning visitors. You've had 246 and they spent this much revenue. Now it can be useful. You may think, okay, well, why is that interesting? You might find that your returning visitors, and sometimes you see this, end up spending more money on your website or end up converting more often on your website. and that can also be increased if you did remarketing, because that helps bring people back to your website, or that could be a signal for you to be doing more remarketing. So you want to make sure that people are coming back to your site at least twice, because then they're more likely to convert. In this case, new visitors are converting more, but you can see that returning visitors actually have a slightly higher conversion rate. So the probability that they're going to convert is a little bit higher. So again, reason to be doing remarketing advertising to bring users back to your website. I'm just going to jump down here now before we finish off to look at this session quality, because this is really useful and really interesting. So this actually drills down into the quality of the traffic that you're getting on your website. Because you can say, okay, well, great, these channels are driving all these sessions to our website, amazing. But, is there any point if they're spending hardly any time on our website, or if they're bouncing straight away, actually only spending, less than a second on the site? So interestingly, this actually breaks down. Here you've got your quality, 1, 2 to 5. Now the highest quality is the closest number to 100. So that's going to be your highest quality website users. So this last category here is your highest quality website users, 51 to 100. And we're seeing that out of 545,000 sessions, 8,500 of them are actually the closest to buying, so our highest quality website users. You can hover over here and it gives you that explanation as well. You can just read it a little bit more about it. So that's really interesting. So many of these sessions, 1 and 2 to 5, that's like the majority of the sessions here are actually really, really low quality, and they've had 0 to 4 transactions. And then you can see our highest quality website users, they've had 598 transactions as a whole. And you can add this segment on. So if I use existing segment, oh, looks like the connection's quite bad. Didn't know if I've dropped off, but I'll keep going. So you can add this as a segment and just then analyze your highest quality website users down here. So now we can see, we'll actually have our marketing channels. What are our marketing channels that drive our highest quality website users? Instead of just looking at channels that drive the most sessions to our website, we want to focus on quality and look at the channels that are driving users that are converting. So we can see direct is actually top, which would make total sense, because people who are typing in your brand name directly have probably already decided they're going to buy from you, or they're very close to deciding they're going to buy from you, so they go directly to your website to buy something. Then we've got organic search. Again, search makes sense. They're going to be quite high quality because they're probably searching for your company name or for certain keywords. So it makes sense that these would be driving the highest quality website users. But it's really interesting. So naturally, some channels will naturally drive high quality users versus others. But it's interesting just to actually add that segment on. And instead of just looking at all your website users, start looking at what channels are driving the highest quality website users. And again, that just gives you insight into what channels are helping your audience convert online. So that's a really, really interesting report to look at, is session quality, which comes under your audience behavior there. You've then got technology, which we've touched on in an overview, that you can break down, and mobile and devices as well. So this can be useful if you maybe work for like an archaic B2B company that believes that people don't access your website via a mobile phone. And you can go into analytics and say, well, actually, a lot of our audience do access our website via mobiles. Not only that, they're actually performing important actions on that website too, like they're downloading brochures or guides or signing up to webinars. So you can get your different devices as well. If you go to technology overview, it should just give you top line mobile versus desktop versus iPad, instead of actually breaking down. Yeah, here we go. So desktop versus mobile versus tablet. So, you know, you can understand how your audience are accessing your website. And again, we've still got the quality segment on here. So we're actually just now looking at users who are actually interested in our website. They're high quality website users. Then desktop in this case is actually top, then mobile, then tablet. But if we look at the amount of revenue driven, then mobile has driven a lot more revenue, and the conversion rate on mobile and tablet is a lot more as well. So, you know, you always need to look at all the data to get the full picture and the full context. So that is it. That's 3 tools, 3 free tools where you can get insights and analytics about your audience. So there's no excuse not to be using those, because they are not paid for. And you can learn so much about your audience for free, which you can then feed back into your strategy, your planning, your more tactical social media and channel activity, but also your advertising as well across Facebook, Instagram, and Google. So definitely something for everybody there. So hopefully that was useful. And as I said, if you're watching this on replay, please do ask your questions. Let us know what you thought. Let us know if you're using those tools, if you've heard of them before, if you have used them yourself when coming up with strategies, when executing campaigns. It would be really good to get that feedback and to share that with others in the group. And that's just 3 tools that we've looked at today. So if you use any other tools that you find really useful to get data from, whether they're paid or free, do feed that back as well and let us know in the comment section. But that's all for today. So have a great week, everybody, and stay safe and see you soon.